was a time in my life that I thought living was way too much of a burden because I couldn't wake up anymore feeling like I did when I was just a young 13-year-old kid. Man, I was 17. I never felt so low, never encountered such an absence of hope before. I was going from this psychiatrist to that one, switching from this prescription to that one. Those pills never did what I thought they could, never helped me cope like he said they should. Looking for relief, I found where it was as I started getting deeper and deeper into street drugs. And by the time I was 19 years old, I had a problem. It was twofold. If I didn't have drugs to calm me down, I felt like I'd rather just not be around. This mind of mine was far from sound. Just to keep on living, I felt like I need to be medicated, doped up, and sedated. And man, I was in a state that I just hated. I was always using heroin intravenously. Now, it was impossible for me to see how I was gonna get out of this mess. Be an understatement if I said that I was depressed. For the next 2 years, I continued my drug use. I came to the place where when I turned 21 years old, I thought my thoughts were not my own anymore. And I thought maybe I was going insane, thoroughly worn down, couldn't tolerate the pain. I had been hospitalized various times by now, and I thought to myself, where's hope? Wow, suicidal thoughts oppressed me now, and it felt like being on the corner of the ropes against Mike Tyson in a heavyweight fight. The thought of ending my life never felt so right. But one night, I was on a desktop PC when I came across a website. I clicked on it, proceeded to read the page. What I found was, there's a way out of this cage. I read a sentence. It contained a word rarely talked about today called repentance. It said, worldly sorrow worketh death, but godly sorrow worketh repentance, leading to life not to be repented of. This was the one true way to get right with the God of love, who sent Jesus to die on my behalf and was calling me to take up the cross and follow after him, saying, today's the day, come after me and find a way. At this point in my life, I was willing to, but when I started asking pastors what I should do, they said if you said the salvation prayer and genuinely meant it, Jesus is there and he'll never leave. I was like, yeah, but if I get back into drugs or start doing what I know I shouldn't be doing, what happens then? They were like, that'd probably prove you were never born again, and your repentance wasn't even genuine, because if it was, you'll bear fruit. And I was like, oh, I know it was though, because about a 100-pound sack jumped off of my back. It was undeniable. I felt like a new man. I was like, who sets a man free? Christ can. But pastor, are you saying that a man can't willfully choose to walk away from God if he wants to? He was like, well, if you're truly born again, you never will. And I was like, what you mean? I don't have a free will? He was like, well, we can disobey. That's going to hinder God from being able to do everything he wants to do in me and you, and he's just not going to be able to. But as far as salvation goes, you don't have to worry about that. That's a free gift. You could never do anything to lose that, and all I could do was pause and think about the implications of that. I was confused, but at the same time, I was like, who am I to think he could be wrong and I'm right? He went to Bible school and got a degree. This guy knows way more about the Bible than me, but I know my experience was real. But when I came to the place where I couldn't feel God's presence in my life anymore, I got depressed. It wasn't too long before I started getting back into using drugs again, only this time my conscience didn't condemn me quite as much as before, because although it didn't sit right with me, I was taught something that eventually led me to believe I could do this and possibly still be right with God. Because I knew I meant it when I told him I was going to live for him. I sincerely repented. I received a gift that I could never lose. That's what I was taught. It almost cost me my soul. I did something that I never did before. I overdosed and I was out for about 20 minutes. Friends tried to wake me up, but they couldn't do it. By God's mercy, though, I made it through it. I went back to those same pastors and told them. They were like, well, you probably wouldn't be coming back here if you were never truly born again. But at the same time, there's reason you should be concerned. I saw changes in you that suggested your conversion was true. But I guess time will reveal it to me and you. I was like, how is there any assurance in that? It seems like the only thing I can do is sit back and hope God's gonna force me to bear fruit. Isn't there anything that I can or have to do? They were like, no, he'll take care of it for you if you're truly born again and one of his. Cause the thing is, if there's any requirement on man's part for cooperation, that's work salvation. I was like, what if he doesn't do it though? They were like, then you were never born again, and you need to make sure you get born again. I was like, does a man lose his free will when he comes to Christ, or is it before? Then I started studying doctrine some more, thinking if a man loses his free will when he comes to Christ, how could he have it before? And as I meditated on this thought more, I got fearful. In fact, I never became more paranoid in my entire life, because it led me to believe there's a possibility man can't choose to receive Christ. Then they're telling me you might not be born again, and if you're not, you need to choose to get born again. I was like, if what you're saying is true, then I'm really having a hard time here to see how I can. And as I started studying doctrine some more, I found that a lot of Christians believe that salvation can't possibly be a gift if it's something man has to choose to receive. And the way God does it is he thrusts it upon some, while at the same time he withholds it from other men, whether they want to be damned or not. I was like, what if I'm not one of the ones he wants to save? I read more and more, and I found so many differing beliefs around about eternal security. Some of them said, if you ever put your trust in Christ, you're secure, and it doesn't matter how you live your life. But when I read the words of Christ, though, I found that he said every tree that doesn't bear good fruit will go into the fire, and not everyone who says, Lord, Lord, will inherit the kingdom of God. However, he who does God's will abides forever. And I was like, if all you had to do was trust him once, it doesn't make sense that he give a bunch of warnings about what not to do if conduct didn't matter for me and you. So I wasn't simple-minded enough to believe that, but the other form of eternal security that I was taught, that was harder to see through. Because it almost made sense when they said there was nothing man could do to get right with God. That would be by works, and salvation is by faith, so that wouldn't work. I read the book of James, though. It said faith without works is dead. Chapter 2, verse 20, I was like, that's funny, because over here in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9, it says, for by grace you have been saved through faith, not your own doing. It's the gift of God, not a result of works, so that no one may boast. But you gotta understand what not of works means, though. Not of works. What that means is that man is dead in his sins. There's no amount of good works that he could ever do to make up for the wrong things he's done against God before. There's no way he could ever work his way out of the debt that he's into. It wouldn't be wrong for God to make men pay. He'd be every bit as just of a God if he never made a way for that debt to be cast away, but he chose out of his own free will to do it anyway. This is the potentially offensive truth that lays the foundation for a man to be able to have his eyes open to the fact that God sent the gift of salvation. And it also enables a man to be able to see what the Bible means when it says God's kindness is meant to lead man to